their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Good morning, Skippy.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning to all
muffin.
our ones of listeners so far. Welcome, everybody. Samantha hanging out with us on the TikTok.
Hello, Samantha on the TikTok.
On the TikTok. We had a few people stop by while we were dancing, and they left in a very big hurry. So,
forget those people.
Yeah, they don't know what they're missing.
Rude.
Us dancing is the best thing on TikTok.
Listen, viral city.
Viral
city.
Indeed.
Yeah, needs a lot of medicine to cure that.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2 days left of the year. Good 2024. It'd be a better 2025. Skippy, did you have a lovely Christmas holiday? Assuming that's what you celebrate. I don't want to make any implications.
I do celebrate the Christmas holiday. Yeah, we'll just get into it. Because it was definitely brought out during their Christmas holiday. Yeah, definitely got two Christmas presents. My daughter and her boyfriend were meeting the daughter's boyfriend for the first time.
Are you going to be a grandpa?
Yes.
Aww.
Yes.
Little Skippy's going to be a grandpapa.
Yeah, and they are also engaged. So
aww. If they need a caterer, let me know.
You want to go down to Alabama?
Price is right.
I was going to say everything has a price. Yeah, so that was quite a.
Well, congratulations.
That was.
Everybody's happy about said baby and shotgun wedding.
We don't know when the shotgun wedding is, but the baby is due 2 days after my birthday.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going to say like next week.
No. She's only 10 weeks. So she was very hard to keep that secret from me and Mom. But yeah, so
excellent.
That was my Christmas.
I thought you said you had two presents.
Well, that one and the engagement.
Oh,
that was the two. That was the big news that I posted on our Facebook page.
Good morning, Bernie.
Oh, hey,
Jason.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll comment. Yeah.
In case you missed it, Skippy's going to be a grandpa.
Yeah. Hey, and so my daughter is 24.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good time to have some sort of child. I mean, my mom was 25 when she had me, but I was the fifth miscarriage that didn't happen. So that was a miracle, baby.
I was 23.
Yeah, you got kids in college and going to college soon, and
elementary school.
Then Rugrats that have a long time till graduation.
Yeah.
So now I need to make this cafe work more than I thought I did to begin with. Just because Banco Dad is going to be open.
Welcome, I Love Me on TikTok.
Oh, I love me too.
Someone's got to.
Don't have much. Anyway.
So do we have cafe movement, or was everything kind of just at a standstill for business-wise?
Just waiting for help.
The last couple weeks?
Everything is in. It is completed. It's 100% done. I could go in there tomorrow and do whatever I need to do, with the exception of the smoker being moved over there. I haven't done that yet, but yeah, just waiting for that.
Excellent.
Gosh darn things.
Bernie just became a pa as well about 6 weeks ago, so congratulations to him. So.
Yeah,
I think I saw that on Facebook.
Can we talk about grandpa names? Like, who chooses the grandpa name?
The way we did it with my parents is we let them pick what they would like to be called.
Oh.
My sister then went a whole different route and just decided to pick a different name than what my parents have been called for 15 years. So, it was Nana and Papa was what that was, and then my sister decided she liked Pops better for my dad. So.
See, I
Skippy, you went away.
What the fuck?
Your videos, I can hear you.
Oh, hi.
I can't see you, but I gotta. Skippy's recording will continue on a new track. Oh boy, this is gonna be one of these.
What happened? What happened? Oh, hold on.
That's all right. You're better heard than seen. You do have that face for radio.
New recording track created.
Yeah.
New recording track started due to changes in your devices. I didn't change anything in devices.
You must have lost your camera.
Well, all right. I guess I'm going to have to go buy a new one, finally. Please. Don't see your camera, get help. Anyway.
Please stand by.
Yeah, so we'll just go with it.
I only get your audio now?
You told me I was better voice than seen.
I know, but it's so strange just talking to a black box.
Well, hold on. I know more about pewters than I do.
Well, I'll be right over and help you troubleshoot.
Anyway, let's talk about your catering. How was catering this past week?
It was good. Yeah, it was I'm glad it's all done.
You had a busy week?
Not really. This last week wasn't. We just had it on Monday. But then Monday going into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Yeah, it was a busy week. Personally,
we didn't talk. Since we didn't meet last week.
Oh, that's right, we didn't. So the week before, I forgot.
Yeah, we're a week behind, bud.
Yeah, sorry.
2 weeks actually.
So we had catering 6 weekdays in a row. With Train, who does commercial HVAC stuff. They build all their own units. So we did 3 of their plants, little Christmas gathering party things, all about 200 people. Went tremendous. We actually ended up serving for 2 of them. So we did buffet the one time. No, we did not. We served for all 3 of them because the one plant we did buffet twice with them, and they have run out of food both times. Not everything, just obviously brisket was gone about halfway through the line. People mounting up plates and stuff. So they had asked if we were able to serve off the buffet line instead of allowing self-service. So we had the whole crew. Caleb came on board for the 3 days. I even grabbed Pam for a couple of days just to make sure that we were as efficient as possible. Even with us serving them one side of the buffet only, we still did about 200 people in 45 minutes.
Wow.
So line was moving efficiently. Leftover food at all 3 events. Anybody that wanted brisket was able to get brisket, which is good. And that's kind of what we were hoping for. We ended up with probably a full pan of pork and I think mac and cheese, both of them left over. So we went and grabbed 9x9s out of the trailer, set them out. Everybody loaded up to go plates. One member of their whatever committee it is, it's got a cool hip name. No, it's one of those inspirational, in-flight or rise committees or whatever it is. That does all their community events and
I know what you mean.
Yeah, she got like 6 containers, loaded them up, and she said she handed them out to homeless people each day. So it was great. Everybody loved it. We've got some pretty immediate positive feedback from the person that booked us. So hopefully that creates a whole lot more opportunity next year. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah. So yeah, those all went well. We did 2 other smaller company lunches on the rest of that week. 60 people at each one of them. And if we hadn't had the other 3 days booked, we probably wouldn't have. I mean, so we do a $1,000 minimum for winter stuff. I'm not lighting anything for less than 1,000. And those were both, I think one was 1,200, the other one was 1,100. So right there. So probably we would have done it. I don't know. I'm on the fence of whether or not I would have done it if we wouldn't have had the other 3, just because of the proximity to Christmas, and the ability to get stuff ready for Christmas is tight already. So, and then having to do a whole lot of work that entire time, and we had the kids the weekend before Christmas, so there wasn't a whole lot of availability of time for me.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it was I was feeling pretty good on Christmas Day when everything was done, because we did Christmas morning with all our kids on Christmas Eve, just because of the way the custody with the step kids worked out. So yeah, we were pretty much done with Christmas on Christmas Eve, outside of going to a couple places for a lunch or a dinner type of thing. So yeah, it's a pretty big sigh of relief once we got through Christmas Eve. It was a good Christmas / birthday, and yeah, the trailer is kind of a slimy mess at the moment from a week of cooking. So this week is the week. So Chris is coming down Wednesday. We're emptying out the entire trailer. It's getting, for the most part, gutted. So he's helping me get all the equipment out. And then yeah, I'll get to work on pulling the floors up, redoing all the plumbing on the inside of the trailer. We got a couple leaks that we've kind of tried to repair on the fly type of thing, but you've seen my trailer. Those back cabinets there's not room to open them all the way. So you're kind of contortionist trying to get in there to cut plumbing and stuff like that. So welcome Marianne too on TikTok.
Hey, Marianne too on TikTok.
I don't know who all is on the Facebook because they're not saying hi, but yeah, so I'll be able to get to all that stuff a whole lot easier with everything out of there. Yeah, might redo some of the lighting inside of the trailer. But yeah, that'll all start this week, really. Yeah, looking forward to that. Haven't heard any updates on the smoker. Hoping that I hear something in the next couple of weeks that it's ahead of schedule. I'm supposed to get notified when it's like 3 weeks out or something like that, I think.
And you're hoping that's next week.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I would feel much better just having that. Hi, Justin. So we got Jason and Justin.
Oh, we got Spaghetti and Bernie.
Yep. Yeah, and filled out a contact info thing for the former Arby's that's by me. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. Might going to be walking through that building. I have my old facilities manager coming up for that. So yeah. Sorry for the clicking. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Not rushing into anything, just kind of getting a feel for what's on the market and what kind of shape that price is going to get us. So that building is 20 years old.
It's not horrible.
No, it's not. I'm sure it was pretty well maintained. If it has the walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer still, and the hood system still there, and the Ansel is largely there, it's something we could probably move into quickly and use as our commissary. So, and that's target number 1. So, yeah, if everything worked out perfect,
which we know it never does.
Perfect. And this building was in great shape. We could talk him down on price a little bit. because it's been on the market for 2 years. No one wants it. And it's one of those things where you gotta, if you care, it's going to take a lot of money to make it not look like an Arby's.
Oh, yeah.
Arby's is one of those buildings that it's an Arby's. It's in the old enough style, kind of like Pizza Huts, the older style Burger Kings and McDonald's. Yeah,
they're all the same.
Yeah, you knew what they were, even if they changed companies or names or so whatever. So, bye, Samantha. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, Samantha.
She's off to work.
Oh,
she said. So yeah, it's how much do I care that it kind of still resembles an Arby's? Not really. I really don't care at all. So yeah, if we can get the price right, maybe we can get the new smoker there, and I don't even have to mount it on the trailer, and save a few steps. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll see. The process is started. So
exciting.
Yeah. So even at their low end of what they had, it's still a without utilities, it's still $5,000 a month for the lease.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
5,000.
Yep.
Plus utilities.
Yeah, they're not paying for utilities.
No,
that's base lease, so that's a triple N, without them including anything in the lease payment to cover any of the maintenance or anything. So I'm responsible for all maintenance, plowing, garbage, everything is mine. I am purely leasing the building.
Oh.
Yep, for about $5,000. So, figure it'll cost me about $15 a month if I were to open like counter service in it with staff, utilities, and the lease, and then probably another 10 for food. So I'm at 25. I'd have to pull in $40,000, $50,000 months. How's that all sound?
Excuse me.
So.
Oh boy, that scares me. That would. Yeah, I don't like that at all. To be honest with you, I'm definitely not a big fan of that. Ugh. I thought my like $1,500 a month was.
I mean, so I don't need to do 40 to 50. 40 to 50 is us making money. So if we can operate even with inside service for 25, then if we can do 30, we're covering all the costs and adding a little bit to the bank account. So.
Are you though?
Yeah.
So you would have to do 30 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be open, what, 6 days maybe?
Probably 7. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. So.
But plus winners. So.
That's $1,000 a day, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. When you break it down to that, so even if it was just 6 days a week, we're still $1,200 days, which I would like to think we'd be able to do. Plus the increase that we can do for catering. So then we're at the point where we're not turning down catering, or rarely turning down catering, So
I've tried everything to get my camera back up, and it's not working at the moment.
All right.
Just so you know.
That's fine.
I've tried.
I appreciate it. Those of you stopping by on the TikTok, please feel free to go ahead and hit the follow button. Much appreciated.
Following's good.
Following's good.
Yeah, so we had a couple catering gigs too. Not as big as yours. We just had. Hold on, when's the last time we talked? Was it the 16th?
2 weeks
was the last
ago.
time?
Mm-hmm.
16th, yeah. So we did
15th. I think we did on Sunday.
Yeah. So we did a drop off on Friday for our local sporting goods store, family owned sporting goods store.
Mhm.
And then this past Friday, we did another catering drop for some people that just Googled barbecue in Jackson. And for some reason, we're the first people that come right up.
Excellent.
And that's good. That's definitely good. We're getting a lot of feedback from people waiting for us to open. And it's like, I swear, we're trying. We're going to get there.
Yeah, we've had a lot. Right, which I've talked about us getting quotes earlier this year. But yeah, we're booking pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are referenced or people that had our food at a wedding this year, or we actually had somebody at one of the caterings we did 2 weeks ago reach out to us for open house. So yeah, we're getting a lot of repeat and referral business, which is awesome. Which has led us, a couple people had asked us about tastings again. So I think we're going to move forward as soon as I can find a location that will have us
Yeah, I saw
for a couple hours.
I saw that you were doing that.
Yeah, I need to get going on it pretty quick to lock down a location. But I know for sure that we've lost business because we don't do tastings in the winter.
Have you thought about like finding, I'm not going to say a podunk, but trying to team up with like a wedding venue?
Yeah, and that's kind of where we were, because we reached out to Tanglewood, which we go out there quite a bit, and they do events in their building.
Yeah.
So we thought it'd be a good matchup with them, and hopefully they wouldn't charge us for it.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of highlighting them and us at the same time. So yeah, they had shown interest. Trying to lock this stuff down, and this time of year is hard because there's so many people not at work.
Yeah.
Just vacations and stuff. So reached out to them. I'll be reaching out to Wiseman Distillery, see if we can use their tasting room. Just reaching out to friends of ours first, see if we can work something out there. And then it'll be the wedding venues. But yep, I think we're going to do like $20 a head. We're in charge for the event. Then if you book, we'll remove or take whatever the cost of your party was. So you bring a couple people, take the $60 off their bill or apply it towards their bill type of thing. Because I know if we put it out there, we're going to have people that come that have no intentions of having an event. They're just coming for a tasting. I know I have customers of ours that would do that. So yeah, that way, if they want to come, they can come. They can pay the $20 and get some food. But it also allows us to be able to have a decent head count coming in, buy, sell, and tickets type of thing.
And I think that's I like the idea, because I'd actually think about start doing that too. Now that I got places, people to come sit down, and
yeah,
it's definitely a good option.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we would have pretty much our entire buffet menu available. I have a couple different plate options. I tell you, buying stuff for catering in these onesie twosies type of thing, like this week, like we didn't have a bunch of stuff, cases of plates and stuff left over from the summer.
No.
So I'm buying sleeves of plates, and you start to realize how much these things are when they're not bundled with everything else that you're buying.
Yeah.
So we actually did the fiber plates for train. So
really?
they're $10 a sleeve less.
Like the compostable ones?
Yeah, so like the cardboard, just like a Chinette.
Yep.
The GFS Chinette plate. So typically we do the plastic ones because I'm worried about the soakage, like them soaking through and breaking.
Yep. Exactly.
So we've always done the plastic ones, but these Chinette ones are $10 less a sleeve for the same number of plates. And I was talking to Chris, said, shit, even for just our Etna events, it's probably $1,000 that we could save.
Yeah.
So we used this train as a kind of a test to see how the plates held up. We had zero leakage through stuff. Like everything held up just fine. We didn't see any soak through plates. So I think that's going to be our standard plate for what's included for catering. And if they would like to upgrade to a plastic plate, then we're going to charge for it. So we'll do our standard plate and silverware configuration that's included, and then an upgraded price for an upgraded plate, upgraded silverware for like $1 a person, just to cover the costs. So yeah, we'll have that out there. Somebody working the buffet table that can kind of answer questions there, and then somebody talking to people afterwards, actively booking and selling. So yeah, I think it'll go well. If we can get the word out and we can get this thing going quickly enough. I just have so little available weekend time for the rest of the year because of my daughter and her cheer and just other things going on. So yep. And then with football season, like I kind of trying to schedule things around when potential games might be. So and then us doing a pre-sale for football food for playoffs. Like we're gonna do 2 runs of that. So yeah, just available time is pretty light for like weekends. So yeah, you gonna do any pre-sale stuff, Skip?
No, actually. Well, for Super Bowl maybe, because I think we'll have the cafe be hopefully licensed and ready to go by then. So it'd be an easy place for people to pick up. But I'm not. No, I don't think so.
Fran says I should also do a follow-up email to participants. I 100% will. So,
yeah. So I just listening. Change the subject real quick. Our friend Darren Worth has a podcast, and he was talking about something that I did, or I thought I had done, a couple weeks ago, and that is change your Google listing. Do you know all the stuff you have to do to change your Google listing?
Well, not just your Google listing, but to change everywhere that your listing pops up. Yeah, is a job.
Well, no.
Me changing my hours on Google is not bad. I can get that done in 5 minutes.
I'm trying to change my address to the cafe address. Okay. So here's the stuff you have to do. Bear with me. So I have gone through all the things and I've changed it, but it says that I'm not verified. So here's the thing:
were you not verified as the owner?
Correct.
Oh.
So I have to select. I have to select a way to get verified, and they ask for a business video. Okay. So I hit next, and it says record your business details. Capture all 3 requirements in one continuous recording. Here's the 3 requirements. Show surrounding area such as street signs or neighboring businesses. Your location should match the address you entered. Show business name printed on permanent fixtures such as a signboard, which won't be installed until next week. Access staff only areas, unlock entrance, or operate cash register. All in one continuous recording. Okay, so there's that. It's like plan ahead. So yeah, and I'm asking like to change options. Yeah, there's no other options. It just says verify later. And you can continue making edits to your business on Google, but they will not be visible to your customers until you complete the verification.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize when I listened to Darren talk about it, because he had to do it for his new breakfast restaurant, that it took him like 6 hours just to make sure that because after you do this video recording, you got to do other stuff on top of that. And
interesting.
Yeah, this sucks.
Because I can edit all my business information. Like I just did it over the winter.
Yeah.
except for that, because we don't have a location though. But I wonder if that's also because the domain is registered to me. Like everything I did was through Google. So I use Google for my domain registration. Like everything, the whole business creation outside of the LLC was done with Google platforms.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me for that because of that reason.
My wife created the website, but I did everything on Google too.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't be a verified, but yeah, I have my little check mark. Do you manage this business profile? What?
I can't even reply to reviews.
Yeah, you need to get this taken care of.
I get that.
But yeah, I am listed as a manager of the business profile and can make edits. I have a little blue check mark.
See, what's weird is it let me create it. It let me create it. And I didn't want to put my address down. So I put like just a random street address down that had like no buildings. So, but
I can't believe I'm a 4.8 on Google. What the fuck?
So am I.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah, I can read reviews, but it says get verified to reply to reviews.
Then are you going to get verified?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
I just can't do it until the sign gets put on the building because there's no sign on the building. So how can I tell it's me?
Oh yeah, I forgot about my 1 star from Tanglewood when we ran out of food.
Yeah, I got a 1 star for somebody said I had old mac and cheese.
But I got a 5 star from somebody it's not even our business.
Well, that's fine.
John Gonzalez of M Life gave us a 4 star.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. Well, better than a 1 star.
Yeah, 10 weeks ago. I could reply 10 weeks ago, but I can't reply now. It's weird.
Well, so yeah, something must have changed. See, Justin. Sorry, I gotta get back to Justin. Said he put the tasting room on Google. I think I started it through Google Maps. I had to edit the location, I think. Okay. Excellent. That isn't listed anywhere else. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that.
Excellent.
I'm going to be a grandpa. Yeah.
So we got. What time do we start this thing? 9 o'clock. It's only 9:30. Why is it going so slow today?
Because we really have nothing to talk about because it's the off season.
No, we have plenty to talk about because we were going to talk numbers today and goals for next year. But I'm going to guess that we're going to have to move that a little bit to next year.
Why?
I don't have my full numbers done yet.
What do you mean full numbers?
My P&L?
You don't have to do your P&L, do you? Oh, yeah, I guess you kind of do.
How else are you determining where your money's going? And where you met projection? How are you projecting for next year if you don't know what you did this year?
I haven't projected for next year. It's not next year yet.
No, it's in 2 days.
True. on the first, I'll do that.
Jason says, Skippy, you don't answer your Google reviews anyways. Win-win. LOL.
I can't answer them. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got a little stack of receipts, and I still am going through to make sure I have all my software and other things in my little spreadsheet to make sure that we're good. My best guess, though, unofficial food cost number for the year is 31%.
Well, let's do this.
That's pretty close. I will have spent. Hold on, I gotta look. So my target for the year was 30, which means for the sales number we did, which was 412,000, 30% of that would be $123,600 spent on food cost related items. So anything that we use to get food out the door, or packaging, food, all that stuff. And I think that's still low. I think I'm missing a pallet. I don't think my pallet of sauce hit my spreadsheet yet. So really, we're probably going to be closer to 32%. Unfortunately.
So My total inventory cost this year was $74,041.68. That's all.
How much? I'm sorry. Your food cost number?
My inventory cost. So any food purchase
Is that
to sell, plus basically any Sam's Club, any Meijer, any grocery store, any superstore, anything like that, any restaurant supply store.
okay? So it does not include pellets, or does it include pellets?
Yeah, it does because that's Sam's.
Okay. So yeah, mine doesn't include any of that.
Oh, so that's why I use Square Banking, because it automatically does that for me. I can.
I have it. I have it in a different. I have it separated in mine, just in it's a different line item.
Yeah. So there is. Yeah. So it's $74,048. So
if you're including your pellets in that, then you should also be including like your propane, because it's the same thing.
Propane.
But that should be including your food costs then.
It can be. No, it can be, because
I know. I'm saying it shouldn't be, though. Just like your pellets shouldn't be listed as food cost.
But don't I need that to create the food? It's
utility. So that's like saying electricity should be, your electric bill should be included in your food cost.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't do that.
Well, I'm saying it shouldn't be, though.
No, I'm saying I can't. Yeah. I can't separate. I mean, I can separate it, but
that's why I use my. Yeah, that's why I use my. You have to go through your receipts.
Yeah.
And pick and choose what goes in and what doesn't.
But that means like catering supplies, like wire racks and pans and all that sort of stuff, right?
I think I include that stuff because for me that's the same as like a 9x9. So aluminum pans and our wire racks are single use.
Correct. So if anything,
that's food distribution.
74,000 is high.
Okay.
If that includes pellets.
Yeah.
All right. So take that number and go back.
Divide by sales.
That's what I'm going to get. Hold on.
I'm just explaining for everybody else what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Jesus Christ.
By the way, I finished up 18%.
So I will have missed my food cost target probably by about $8,000 for the year.
Oh, why the hell is that 23? I don't want 23 this year.
But yeah, so I mean, doing some of the catering stuff, like figuring out where we can save some money, and some other stuff. Like, all right, well, if we wanted to go to stop using Blue Bonnet for our mac and cheese sauce and switch to real butter, which is about 3 times as much. So you're going to be, even for Meijer real butter, you're at probably $1.60 a stick versus the 30 cents that you're at a stick for margarine.
You like Blue Bonnet over Imperial?
I use whatever is cheaper typically, but yeah, I like Blue Bonnet. I've always been a Blue Bonnet fan, especially for like baking, because it says on the box it's great for baking.
It does.
And I'm a sucker for marketing. Marketing works, folks.
Final number was 32.3%.
Which is, I mean, you're in that range that you should be.
Including pellets.
Yeah. So you're actually better than what that number is. So yeah, you're right there, bud. Good job. So yeah, we'll be right there too, right about that 30. I'm guessing about 32% once I get all the numbers finished.
I do have a invoice that I have to pay from Cisco.
But yeah, we budgeted. So we are going to have spent roughly $5,000. No, that's not right. Probably $6,800 in charcoal this year. We had budgeted $9,000 in charcoal.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you're telling me.
That's a lot.
So yeah, I mean, we'll figure out where we can. So like saving the money on the plates for us offsets the extra that we're going to spend on better ingredients for the mac and cheese. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how can we afford to spend this much more on butter? How can we triple our butter budget? Like, what's the justification when everybody loves the mac and cheese? You know, like it's our best seller. People love it. It tastes different.
But do you think
it has a different texture? It has a different flavor, and it's all better. You know, those things are all better.
But why change something that your customers already love? Wouldn't that
because we can make it better.
Per who?
Per taste buds.
Whose taste buds?
Everybody's.
No, if you haven't done
100%, I guarantee, universally better.
But if your stuff is good as it is, why? That's like you changing brisket from cooking in a pan to cooking in. The hell's that next to you? I see an arm. Oh, hey! I saw a random arm. Look, I'm colorblind, but it looked like the Grinch for a second.
Oh, shoot. I lost my... Here we go.
Isn't that like you changing...
Okay. Good luck.
Brisket up? From cooking in a pan to wrapping it?
Okay, Skippy.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, you have a good brisket right now, right?
I think so.
If you could make a change to be at Aaron Franklin quality, would you? Yes.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, you can't see me nodding or not nodding.
Yeah.
I've never tasted it, so I don't know. But
okay,
if
pick one of the best brisket cooks in the world.
No, I know, but how can you quantify that change?
So are you saying you should never make a change in your recipes to try to better them?
I'm not saying that, but it's better.
We changed all our pork rub last year.
But better, and everybody still loves your pork because realistically, they can't taste the difference.
Yes, they could, because we had a couple of people ask us what was different.
I guess if it's cheaper to make it and everybody loves it, why make it more expensive? Because then technically you would, if you increase the cost of making it, you have to increase the price of the product.
No.
You should. That's
okay, Skippy. You're talking about a $3 difference in the cost of the entire recipe.
I understand.
Divide that by the number of servings. You're talking about a penny difference.
I completely understand.
So we're going to eat the penny to use better ingredients for a better end product. A better end product that won't dry out as fast, will be creamier, and will have a richer flavor. We're not talking about changing the cheese blend. We're talking about going from margarine to butter.
And if that's all it takes to make it better, so you sell more. Like, is that the thing? Is so you sell more?
Isn't that the whole idea of doing anything? Don't you want to sell more?
You do want to sell more, but like how?
Skippy, how do you better what you're selling? I'm curious. It's a 100% genuine question.
How do I better what I'm selling? I put my product in front of more people.
That makes it better?
No, that makes it more accessible.
Okay.
You're not going to make more money changing your mac and cheese. You're going to make more money.
I'm not.
Why would you? You already start off with a penny loss. Let's just say it's a penny. You already start off with a penny loss. So if you sell the exact same amount of mac and cheese, you're losing money.
But you don't think that having a better product inherently you sell more of?
No, I think you being in front of either different people or more people is how you make more money. I don't think
you're saying if you have,
I think if you use your same product but get in front of more people, you'll sell more mac and cheese. It's not about the recipe.
Skippy.
Yeah.
Why does Aaron Franklin have more people come to his restaurant than he does?
Because he's what you're going to have at news.
That's why.
I mean, I've never had his brisket, so I don't know. I go by what people tell me. People tell me it's the best brisket they've ever had. I completely understand. I had only.
So
Texas brisket I had was Terry
So that has
Black's,
nothing to do with
and
it.
it was really, really good.
That has nothing to do why people show up.
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter how good your food is, as long as you can get out in front of people, they'll come.
What I'm saying is if let's say he adds a little more black pepper to his brisket, or instead of using salt, pepper, garlic, or salt and pepper, he adds garlic to it. Whatever he thinks is going to make it better than what it already is.
And he has room to improve a lot of his things.
He has a cult following because he's in front of more people than you are.
Right.
So if everybody thinks your mac and cheese is great because they buy it and you sell 300 tons of mac and cheese a year, you adding more butter or adding butter versus margarine, I don't believe is going to make more people buy mac and cheese.
Okay. How about those people that get it and think it's okay, but now it's up a different level? The likelihood of them coming back because of a higher quality product is higher.
But that goes back to how can you quantify that, because you don't know what people feel about your mac and cheese.
You can quantify it by sales. If we end up selling more mac and cheese this year, then we'll know.
I don't know if that's true.
At a higher rate than what it has been in the last 5 years. Because we know what we sell from year to year. So we have our average growth relative to sales growth.
Fine.
Right?
Then look at this. Go to your mac and cheese over the last 3 years and see if it's increased every year, if it stayed the same.
It has increased every year.
Okay.
But so have our overall sales. So you can make a correlation between that percentage, between your mac and cheese increase percentage and your sales increase percentage, right? There's a correlation there.
Yes, you can make that correlation, correct.
So we had a 22% increase in sales. If we had, let's say, a 22% increase in mac and cheese sales, like everything just kind of went up at the same rate.
Okay.
Say next year we have a 10% increase in sales, but we have a 30% increase in mac and cheese sales. That would be a larger increase than what is normally expected. Hi, Bubba.
That could possibly, you could possibly use that. But
you can quantify anything. You just have to look at the right correlations.
Well, the only way to figure out if a customer comes back because the mac and cheese is better is to look at each customer sales. Again, if you get your product in front of more people, you are going to sell more.
So to the adverse, then, if we make this change and we sell less mac and cheese, you would be the first to say, see, there's your proof. You shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
So but you just said you can't quantify it that way. So you can quantify it that way too. It works both ways.
Fuck, you're turning this around. I'm trying to. What I'm saying is, if your sales have been going up steadily for the same amount for the certain amount of years, and you go into next year with a different recipe, and you sell less mac and cheese, but have, let's say, the same transaction numbers, then yes, that would be a negative, because you could attribute that to you changed your recipe, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So
the adverse is also correct, though. If everything else is equal,
if
we sell more mac and cheese,
correct. If you sell more of it, but as long as everything is equal. But if you had the same amount of transactions, the whole changing of something just doesn't make sense if it's already doing good.
But why can't it do great?
Because you don't know what.
Why
great
are you satisfied?
Is.
Why exactly? I would like to find out.
Then you have
we're nowhere near it.
Then you have a focus group and you give 50 people free barbecue.
This is why it takes you 10 years to do anything.
No, it doesn't. I opened a brick and mortar before you did.
Yeah. Is it open?
Technically not.
And how many times did we go back and forth on said brick and mortar? And how many opinions did you ask after?
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. A lot. How many times did I try to get out of it?
Did you do?
None. Well, a lot, yes. It's scary, okay? It's scary.
I understand.
It's different than changing a mac and cheese recipe.
Skippy, I've already changed that mac and cheese recipe twice since we've been open in 5 years.
Did you sell more mac and cheese?
No, we've sold less every time.
I'm just saying
I've thrown away 7 half pans every day.
It's a lot.
Skippy, your recipes are nowhere near as good as they could be. Right?
I guess. I don't know.
If you gave your recipe to a professionally trained chef, I guarantee you that using better ingredients, so fresher, better black pepper, even makes a difference. Increases
Okay.
the quality of the dish. The
I
black
personally-
pepper that you get off the grocery store shelf, who knows how long it's been sitting there? Everybody will tell you that freshness matters with even ground spices.
I agree. Freshen, like grinding your spices opens up the.
Exactly.
Yes, I that part I agree. Spices might be different, but if you're just changing from margarine to butter, I think butter actually has a greasier. I think it'll end up being greasier.
It's not, Skippy.
I'm just
Not
saying.
even, I've already made it. We sold it all last week. It's a better product.
So what's the difference if so you're a comp cook or you were a comp cook, but you went to a comp class. You learned everything that they did, right? You learned every single thing. But then you go the next week and you don't do as good as they always do. You use their same. It's all about the cook. It's not necessarily about the ingredients. Could you cook your mac and cheese any different?
That's fucking bullshit. So why are people spending $200 on Wagyu briskets, Skippy?
Because they have to.
There is something to that, and for barbecue and for cooking large meats.
So
for cooking like side dishes, that doesn't hold true. The quality of your ingredients is paramount.
So are you?
Let's ask our pasta makers. Does it matter which flour you use?
I would love to hear that.
Yes, it does.
Justin, please, please hurry up.
Justin, does the quality of your flour matter in the quality of your pasta?
Where's Isaac? Where's Isaac when you need him?
So yeah, it's not greasy. It's not even close to greasy. The biggest difference is the roux for the butter. And I'm going to do a video of the side-by-side comparison of margarine and butter.
So why, if butter was could have made it so much better, why has it always been margarine then? Just because of cost?
Yeah.
So are you using Meyer brand butter or are you using Kerrygold?
I'm not using Kerrygold.
Okay, well, you're the one who's talking about different, freshness of ingredients.
I've already talked about this. You didn't even listen.
I know.
When I was talking about the price per stick.
No, I get price per stick.
I
get it.
So Kerrygold, you're at $10 a box for 4 sticks of butter.
It's really good butter, though.
It is really good butter. But yeah, your Meyer sweet cream you're at $4.60 or something like that up for 4 sticks.
Salted or unsalted?
Doesn't we use salted for the mac and cheese?
You were about to say it doesn't matter.
Well, I was going by price,
Okay.
And then I stopped because I figured that's not what you meant. Yeah, the price is the same, salted or unsalted. But yes, and yeah, because you look at the prices, especially when you're first starting out and you're counting every penny that you can. It's like, oh my God, our mac and cheese is going to cost 3 times as much to make. Well, no, it's going to cost $3 more. So it's a $53 pot of mac and cheese versus a $50 pot. And when you're talking, it makes 50 pounds of mac and cheese. So you're adding not even a full penny. Or what is it, Skippy? What's $3 divided by 50?
Oh, I don't know.
3 divided by 50. 6 cents. 6 cents a pound.
Well, now it's more than a penny. Please hold. But see, this is why you make the big bucks. I'm looking at Meyer butter, so bear with me a second.
Okay.
I'm just.
They actually had a really good sale on it right around Christmas. I thought about buying. No, but the expiration date wasn't until like July.
All right, so unsalted butter right now, currently at Meijer, is $4.39. So basically $1.10 a stick.
Yep.
Okay, and you use how many sticks per?
4.
So $4.39 versus your Blue Bonnet, which is currently
$1.45.
4 for $5. It's on sale.
So $1.25.
Yeah.
So it's on sale for like 10 cents off.
24 cents, it says.
Okay. Yeah, even worse. Yeah. I remember when that stuff it used to be $1 a box. You get that stuff for 99 cents.
Yeah, Imperial right now is $1.45.
Yeah, they're both usually within like a nickel of each other.
So that means, so it's not horribly different. It's $1.25 versus $1. Butter is actually cheaper.
No.
Oh, four packs.
There you go.
Okay, so 16 sticks. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Yeah, thank you there. There's quality math.
Jason says, you're all missing the point.
Okay, please.
Buffalo beat Detroit. Lamar is winning the third MVP. The Ravens are winning the Super Bowl, and Joe Flacco still.
Shut up. We haven't talked about our football yet.
We haven't talked any football. We're trying not to.
We're trying to stay normal.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay. So you're spending $4.39 versus $1.25.
Yep. So like I said, about $3.
Wow. Yeah, I don't. All right, but you think it's going to be better?
I know it's better.
So these people that you catered to, they don't even know what your previous mac and cheese was.
That's not true. We have quite a few regular customers from them, but so it's not so much the flavor, Skippy. It's the creaminess and the richness. So you can have something that is richer without it really tasting different. You can have something be creamier without it tasting different.
So you're saying it doesn't taste different?
I didn't say that.
So it does taste different. No, it does taste different. I'm just going by what you just said. So it does taste different. It tastes better, you said.
It's a better product.
Okay. But does it taste better?
To the highly discerned palate, yes, it'll taste better. If you were to put them side by side and gave it to 10 people, 10 people would say those two mac and cheeses tasted different.
You should do that.
Why?
Because your idea could be flawed. Again,
then I'll find out. I'll find out soon enough. Because the first week that we're open, our highly loyal customers will let us know.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you think so? You think they will?
Yes. If they don't like the mac and cheese, if we tell them that we've made a change, and we will, and they don't like it, they will let us know. 100%. And if it's overwhelmingly that, nope, we don't care for this new mac and cheese, then we'll switch back. But I would put significant money on that. Either people will be indifferent or they'll say it's better. You still there, Skippy?
I'm here. I'm
okay.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Again, you're both missing the point. If you're not using the Great Value brand Velveeta and wet aging it for 6 months, then dry aging for 6 months, your mac and cheese is garbage. Thank you.
That's 12 months of cheese of cheese, huh? Wow, that's a lot of cheese.
Just like I'm still not making the mac and cheese I want to serve. That's a much better cheese blend.
What's the difference in cost and cheese blend?
That's significant. Now we're talking about adding $10 to $12 a batch. And I'm just not there yet. So that's part of what we're doing. I'm just finding vendors that can help us with cheese at a decent price.
So you wouldn't ever entertain increasing the price if you make an announcement that the mac and cheese is what you would consider a better recipe or a better product?
Not with just changing from margarine to butter, no. If we went with the addition a cheese blend that cost more, then yes.
Okay, so let's get into this conversation.
Okay.
Because Darren's podcast just did the same thing. When do you look at raising prices? Do you
Every
look
year.
at all? I get it. Do you look at all during the year, or do you look at like the beginning of the year?
For us, it's the beginning of the year because we don't change our pricing throughout the year. We never have. I don't foresee us ever being in that group of people where we are, because we've talked about before, like live changing pricing depending on where you're at. Like, oh, we're in a more affluent neighborhood, so we're going to bump up the prices a little bit more because they can afford it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. So we do a hard printed menu every year, and that's the price for the year. And then we will re-look unless something catastrophic happens.
So brisket
like
goes
a
to
global
$5 a pound.
global pandemic or something like that.
Brisket goes to $5 a pound. Do you change your brisket price?
Probably yes.
Well, Costco had prime brisket for $4.78 a pound yesterday. I was surprised.
Yeah,
no, but brisket's been between $4 and $4.50 a pound for quite a while.
I typically, I think the most I paid over the summer was $4.40, and that was prime, and that was the case price. But yeah, I mean, typically, brisket's a different animal. For us, our cost is our profit margin is a little bit different, a little bit lower on brisket than it is pork. So we're kind of a little bit more in tune to that. But again, yeah. So $1 increase per pound on raw is a $2 increase on the back end. That standard math of you lose half a brisket. So yeah, everything is doubled with brisket. It's like, so if it got to like $7, $8 again, we would do what we did during the pandemic, and we just take it off the menu. Versus jacking up the price, because there's a limit.
Yeah. There's definitely.
And for barbecue trucks, we're typically already priced a little bit higher than most other trucks. So you have to be careful with that line. We're not serving lobster.
Yeah.
We can't do $20 sandwiches. Not the sandwiches we're serving, in my opinion. You can't justify a brisket sandwich with pickled onions for $20. So you get brisket up into the $8 raw a pound.
Yeah,
and that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then you're cooking a brisket not to sell it, because no one's going to touch it for that price. Jason again. My cab brisket is almost $5 a pound now. Prime is like $5.40. Has been for a while. Choice is about $4.30 to $4.50. Yeah, and I'm fine cooking choice for the truck. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it.
It works for what we do. So, you want to talk about, well, if people are buying it, then we don't sell, like, we don't get different comments when we have choice or prime being sold. Like, the comments are the same. We don't get different feedback one day or 1 week when we have prime.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, there was such a big drop off from this week to next week. Guys, what'd you guys do different? We don't get those kind of comments. So you have to be more careful with your lower quality, and you might have to add in some extra fat in there, because we all know that with your food grading or meat grading it's fat content, especially with brisket.
Yes.
So if you can replace the fat, throw a stick of butter in there.
You would.
I wouldn't serve it after I dropped it on the ground and kicked it a couple times.
Hey, it wasn't eating brisket.
Somebody ate it.
Wasn't me.
And this is how Skippy runs his business, everybody.
Listen.
Skippy would never do that on the trailer. So yeah, we've already kind of started looking. We redo our food costs based on what kind of average prices are that we saw over the year, and right now current pricing. So yeah, brisket is higher right now than it was last winter, a little bit. And that's what I based my food cost spreadsheet off of, was winter, whatever the price was in February or whatever, whenever I did the menu.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't foresee us raising prices next year
Well,
on anything.
Yeah, I don't foresee raising prices.
So we are bumping up some of our catering stuff
Wings, yes, that's
just a touch. It's like 25 cents a person on our main proteins.
Yeah, you have a whole different pricing menu.
Yeah. Yep. So, but other than that, I mean, that's pretty insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, other than that, like all our daily menu stuff, our roadside menu, I think is going to stay largely the same. We are probably going to bump up our rib tips up to $10 versus $8. Just so
pound?
a pound, which gets us closer to what everybody else sells them for in the area.
Were they a hit?
Yeah. We rarely had them past lunch.
Yeah, I've people like them. I don't understand how, but people like them.
So Gordon's does sell.
Already cut.
Nope, they sell them whole.
Correct. Yes.
They have them whole. It's the price for me that's the problem. I mean, because then I got to seriously talk about now we're $12 a pound instead of where we were at $8. But we might have to in order to be able to meet demand and have the amount that we would actually sell. Like I would say half the days that we have them, which is all of them, they're gone within the first half an hour. And it's usually somebody coming buying 2 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
So typically we only cook as many racks of rib tips as we have racks of ribs on the truck for the day. So if we only do 3 racks of ribs for the day, we're only going to have roughly 3 pounds of rib tips.
I was looking
so fast.
I'm on Cisco's website looking to see what they sell.
So Gordon's price for rib tip, the full slab of rib tips, was the same price per pound as St. Louis ribs, $2.79 or $2.89, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what they are.
When I looked, and you could get them fresh. So that's a thought, but I mean, right now for us, it's just extra. Like we don't have really any additional cost on the rib tips outside of rub,
Yeah, it's being cooked anyway. It's a byproduct.
Yeah. So the price we were paying the same per rack for St. Louis ribs as we were for full spares. So we just get the full spares, cut off our rib tips, and that's just extra money. Now the numbers showed this year that we did sell less ribs than we did last year. But because of the rib tips. So it's a value rib option.
Yeah.
So but if you look at the total sales, if you combine ribs and rib tips, it was like a 20% bump in sales between the two over just ribs. So it was worth it. And we actually had rib as a whole, we sold more and it was more profitable. We just sold less ribs, which is interesting. Yeah. So I have a couple ways that we could go about it. We could get the cases of the slabs of rib tips, and cook those just as we need them. Or we could make more ribs a day and add the rib sandwich onto the daily menu.
For what it's worth, Costco has 5 pounds of rib tips raw for $2 a pound average.
But cut, I'm guessing.
Yes, they are cut.
So they're cut individually. Yeah, I have not had as much luck cooking them that way. I can't get them to turn out as well as when we're cooking them as a whole slab.
But they do have the McRib boneless rib patty. Sorry, I find it funny, like what all is available through like a big food distributor, and it's quite interesting. So you can buy the pork ribette barbecue raw for 56 3 ounces or 3-ounce patties, or you can buy pre-cooked 53 3-ounce patties. And the difference in price, $3 to get a pre-cooked one per case. $3 difference. So it's like, why would you cook it raw? Anyway, sorry. Never mind.
So yeah, not sure which way we're going to go on that yet, but
It's a good. I like the idea. So, but don't you make more of a profit on ribs than you do tips?
well, no, because we're not really paying for the rib tips.
So if you sell a pound of rib
We're pretty
tips,
much getting the rib tips for free.
well, yeah, ish.
No, for real. Because the cost, like I said,
You're just getting
you're
getting another cut of meat, but for the same
for no price. I'm either going to pay $11 a rack for St. Louis ribs, or I'm going to pay $11 a rack for full spare.
But this year, you noticed that you had less rack sales than
Right.
Technically, you make $2 or you make $10 a rack ish after it's all said and done, $10, $12. So
right.
Is one a pound of rib tips basically like one section?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we were yielding a pound to like a pound and a quarter per rack.
Are you pre-cutting them?
No.
Cut them as
Well,
once they're cooked.
Yes. Yep. So yep, we'll cube them up, or we'll slice them. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, we're just boxing them and going.
I've tried rib tips a couple times last winter for the cafe, and they did go pretty good. But
let me pull up the numbers. Let me see. My square's been really, really slow today.
Yeah.
So Skippy, you had talked about with the cafe that you might not be rolling the truck out as often. Is that the case, or are you going to try to keep the same schedule?
Keep the same schedule per se. So we probably won't do roadsides. We'll probably do more big events. So like fairs, festivals, things like that we can really actually show our weight with the new trailer. More than likely, that's the reason I want to get the cafe up and running now, is so I can start planning on where we're going. Like there's a country music festival in Hastings we want to do. There's one here in Jackson that we want to do. That's one of those events where they charge you, 35%.
Yeah.
But it makes, for the one in Jackson, it's at MIS, which we're really close to. So it makes a financial sense for us to do it, because we can just keep the smoker running and at the cafe and send somebody to go pick up food if necessary. But I think I hate to say we'll probably pay more to get into bigger events, but I think it'll be beneficial. So there's a lot of events downriver that we want to do over on the east side. Like there's a pig and whiskey festival. There's one up in Ferndale.
So largely you're going to abandon roadside.
Abandon's a strong word, but yes, probably.
So if people want to come get your food, they need to come to the cafe.
They need to come to the cafe or find us when we're out
at a festival.
They're going
to have to pay to get in, and
not all the time. No, there's probably 2 neighborhoods that we'll still go back to because they gave us a shot when we can. But I don't like going out. Like we tried going to like Northville, which is like an hour and 10 minutes away, doing a lunch, but their lunch ended at 2, and then we drive 45 minutes to Ann Arbor, get set up by 3, and nobody's there until like 5 or 6, because that's when people are getting home. And there's not enough neighborhoods out where we are now that can provide that good $1,000 dinner. Like the fact that you get $2,000 lunches is fantastic. We don't have that opportunity unless it's a catered gig.
We're not doing a lot of $2,000 lunches.
I know, but your goal is what?
So-
15, your goal is what per lunch? 1,500?
No.
Is your goal to do more at lunch than dinner?
We typically do more at lunch than we do dinner.
Yeah, we don't have that option.
Well, you just haven't found the right places yet. No, it's still. Yeah, we do. We do plenty of $1,000 hours. I mean, those aren't normal though. You know, if we can do $1,000 lunch, 1,000 to 1,200, that's a good lunch. You know,
it's a great lunch for me.
If we can get to 1,800 total for the day, it's a really good day. Yeah. So our target is at least 16 is kind of where we'd like to be. So yeah, there's days when we do a $1,200 lunch, and then we go and do a $400 dinner, and the $400 dinner seems god awful, but it's all profit at that point.
Well, yeah, it's the day
outside of
day.
Yeah, outside of the $30 or whatever in labor for Caleb. That's the only difference. You know, like, well, why would you even go if it's only $400? Because all the rest of the food's already paid for.
Yeah.
So
we don't, because of the community that we're in is largely a farm community. I mean, I'd have to travel to be able to do what you do. I have to travel like hour and a half sometimes. And that's why when we first started, we just did subdivisions at night. Like you used to pick on me because, I was a part-time guy, only did night stuff, which is fine. It worked. We did really good that way, but it's not worth it now anymore.
So if you're not going to roll the trailer out largely, except for these bigger events, why not find some place just to set up and just leave it? Why don't you go somewhere that, is maybe 45 minutes away, find someone that just let you park it, and then you can run food to it every day. You find a person or two to work it there, and then you're just delivering food, dropping food off, and they're running for the day.
It could work. Yes.
It absolutely
could work.
Yeah, like a Menards or Home Depot or something where, you're probably not going to do $2,000 a day, but can you do 1,000 a day?
Well, I haven't
over 8 hours.
I haven't tried Menards in a while, but from what you told me, they were pretty expensive.
We were paying $600 a month, I think.
Yeah, what you're saying could work. It absolutely could. I have a friend. I have somebody that's a GM at a tractor supply company that would let us set up.
If your goal is to not do food truck stuff eventually,
no,
then what you're saying makes sense to me. Like you're getting away from it. You're going to your brick and mortar. You're still going to roll the food truck out for bigger events.
We will still do like our food truck Tuesdays, which is.
But if you still want to be a food truck, then it doesn't make sense to me to largely abandon your roadside stuff.
Our roadside stuff, I only did one roadside event every week. That was at the Farm and Home Store, which is down the street from where I'm setting up. Everything else that we did was either catered or like we did a corporate lunch where they invited us out to their plant to sell to their employees. I really didn't do any what you would call roadside. Like
everything's roadside for me. Unless I'm getting one big check, it's all roadside is what I consider. Like wineries and brewery, that's all roadside.
Correct. I didn't do any of those.
Okay.
Rarely. Sorry, I can't say I didn't do any, but rarely did I do those.
Okay.
Rarely did I do subdivisions. The public could attend any event that I went to, but I was literally going to somebody's factory. Chrysler Proving Grounds invited us out. If I get invited for that, I'll probably go because I want to create a good relationship with that factory. So stuff like that, I'll probably still do.
Okay.
But yeah, roadside for you is different than roadside for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we talked. Like, if I did,
Like I said, I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not gonna give up on it because, like I said, I'll still do our food truck Tuesdays, which is just a lunch, couple hours at lunch downtown.
Mhm.
I'll still do our Friday night cruise-ins. We'll still do that sort of stuff, which is basically roadside.
So for next week, let's talk about our goals for next year, sales goals and everything. We can talk about numbers more in depth for this year next week. But just something that is in my head right now. It's like when you're comparing next year's sales numbers to this year's sales numbers,
mm-hmm.
Since you are doing much less food truck stuff and more cafe stuff, are you expecting there to be a big shift in sales?
Yes.
Okay. I look forward to hearing what your projections are for both places. Because I think in order to plan well, you need to project both places differently. So you need to have a food truck projection. You need to have a cafe projection. So I look forward to hearing all that next week. Now back to the numbers that I was pulling. The rib things that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So we did 614 pounds of rib tips last year. Versus we did 542 racks of ribs between halves and fulls. So if you go based off of it's about a pound per rack, then yeah, we sold 70 more. We had 70 racks of ribs hit the trash. But if you look at profitability, like it's $4,600 on those 614 pounds of rib tips that really only cost us rub and sauce.
But then don't you have to take out the racks of ribs you threw away as loss?
On the ribs, not the rib tips. That's what I'm saying.
But you get the tips from the ribs, so it would technically even itself out, wouldn't it?
It's only $700 in ribs, so or let's say 1,000.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was a good way to calculate it or not. That's all.
The rack of ribs, whether I sold them or not, isn't a cost of the rib tip.
All right.
I mean, if you want, then what I should be doing is what is our average cost of a rib, and maybe that's how I'll do the food cost for this next year. Just divide it in half. So a full rack of ribs, full spare, is on average, let's say $12. So then we're going to say a rack of rib tips is $6 and a rack of ribs is $6.
So we did 70. Well, yeah, wow, you sold a lot of ribs.
And that's down from last year.
I only sold like 73.
So that's 500. You only sold 73 racks of ribs? But you don't have ribs every day, do you?
I only cook like 2 or 3 racks.
So 542. Let me pull up last year. Oh, this is so much easier to do on my phone.
Really?
The item sales, I find easier to pull on my phone. For whatever reason. Pork chops, ribs. All right. So last year, 542. 542, everybody. There.
Mac with brisket was my number 2 selling item.
542. So 336. That's all right. Sorry. So the difference in our racks of ribs was only 30. So last year we sold 581 racks. This year 552.
And you're cooking what, 6 a day? 7 a day?
6 usually. Okay. Steve, no, we have never done full spares. Sold full spares. I don't know how I'd fit those in a box. Unless we did them individual bones.
No, you
And
probably
then you can kind of,
you probably do them in a half pan and just cover it.
yeah.
That's the way I thought.
Yeah, really.
That's why I thought about doing rib dinners was throwing them in a half pan and then doing two sides.
So we sold 3 less racks of ribs this year, but sold, what was it, 600 pounds of rib tips. So when you look at the full, so we did 15, that's 16. I got to write these down because I'm not going to remember. So let's say 15, 8 in rib sales last year. Now we go to this year. And if I could just search on the item list, that'd be helpful.
Good try.
Yeah, that would make it a whole lot easier for me because we just have so many items. Where are you? All right, 15, and so yeah. So last year we did $15,800 in rib sales. This year, between rib and rib tips, is $19,500. So really, it's pure profit of another $4,000.
Okay.
Almost.
It's good. God, we sold a lot of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
So pulled pork sandwich was my number one selling item based off dollars.
Based off dollars, not sales, or not numbers?
Not numbers, just based off dollars.
That's interesting.
It's just gross sales, top 5 items, gross sales. I mean, other than my 2 catering categories. Yeah, pulled pork sandwich, mac with brisket, and mac and cheese. Top 3.
I'm gonna use my phone for this. Let me pull up mine real quick. My top 5. Sales year. And show top 10 and count. So loaded. So this is the first year that our piglet sandwich, our basic pork sandwich, hasn't been number 1. So 1,938 piglet sandwiches and 2,026 brisket loaded macs.
Really?
Yep. So just snuck in there. 100 ahead. So our combined loaded max was 4,000. Just under 4,000. 3,950. If you do gross. Yeah, so our pork sandwiches, wouldn't even be at the top. It's weird that your sales number for your pork sandwich is the highest. But don't you charge more for your loaded mac than you do your pork sandwich?
Yes.
You just sell more pork sandwiches than anything else.
Correct.
Okay, so count and gross is, yeah, okay. That's so $55,000 in loaded mac and cheeses sales.
So mac with
a
brisket.
quarter of our sales.
Mac with brisket was number 2 at 755 items.
Nice.
We just had a lot of catering this year. That was the biggest thing, is a lot of catering.
Yeah, so 25% of our sales was from loaded mac and cheese.
Oh, there's the ribs. 270. 270 racks of ribs.
So really, it'd be more than 25% because if you take out, our catering numbers, then yeah, I bet you we're 40%. Loaded mac and cheeses are 40% of our roadside sales.
See, I took out the Cubano last year because I didn't think it sold good, and like the first 3 was like, "Hey, can we get the Cubano? You don't have that anymore?" I'm like, fuck. So it was still, I mean, technically, it was still one of the lowest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, our one-off specials did well. We had a lot of people asking, like, people still want shotgun shells. So we'll probably do that stuff some more next year. It'll all just be staff. All right, Steve.
1,235 pulled pork sandwiches.
Bubba says, so if rib tips are free because of selling the rib, burn ends are free from buying the brisket. Yeah, I mean, well, I see what you're doing there. No, Steve, there's a difference because I would be selling the brisket anyways, whether it was burn end or otherwise.
You're
so
still
for
paying
me,
per pound for everything, though.
Correct. But so if I do spare ribs and cut them down to St. Louis, before I wasn't doing anything with the rib tip section. You know?
Correct.
So it's waste that we're regaining. I understand that it still costs something, that they're not just free. But in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the numbers as a whole, we have $4,000 in extra sales that we didn't have to pay more for. Is what I'm saying.
For waste.
Yes. We paid nothing for an extra $4,000 in sales.
Yes.
So hence they're free, even though they are not. If that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, because they would still be, if they were a pound, they would still be, if you're getting ribs for $2 a pound, it's still $2. Your cost is still $2 a pound plus sauce and rub.
Yeah. So so when you're doing food costs, and I think I had them in as the price per pound on the food costs. I'll have to go back and look. Maybe I didn't even have them on there at all on my food cost sheet.
Can I ask you a squirrel moment question?
Sure.
What is that face behind you?
This one here?
That one.
That's my portrait of Angie that I drew.
No wonder you lock her in the basement. Shit.
Yeah. That's the one she drew of me up there on the top.
Are you guys South Park characters? Sorry.
Artists or not.
I had to.
Golf clubs. Yeah.
I know you got a new golf tower. I love it.
Yeah. New golf bag, some shoes.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
What other questions we got?
So, Steve, yes, I understand that they do cost something. Different than your brisket analogy, but I think everybody understands the gist of what I was saying.
And I think they cost more if they're Texas style.
So Steve Rodriguez says challenges burnt ends command a premium price, whereas the tips usually are discounted even from full spares. So, yeah,
true, can be.
But the difference is there. So if I'm not making rib or burn ends, I'm still using all that brisket as, it makes sense in my head. And I think the end numbers make sense.
1,495 pieces of cornbread. Did I lose you? Hello? Hello? I don't know if we're still recording. I don't know if Josh did something wrong. Oh, boy. Oh, his laptop just shut down. Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're going to have to let go. We appreciate you being back. We will cover our numbers more next week. I do wish everybody the best and a happy and safe new year. Please follow us on all our social media. If there's other things that you want to hear us talk about, most of us are open books. So we'd love to get some questions answered on the Facebook page. So feel free to comment. And again, I'm going to be a grandpa. It's freaking great. Have a safe and happy New Year. Oh, Josh is back.
Sorry, everybody. My laptop just turned off. I got a blue screen and it rebooted. It was weird.
That was quick though.
So
I was just telling everybody,
sorry.
leave questions on the Facebook page. We'd love to answer them. Have a safe and happy New Year. Do not do anything that Josh's kids wouldn't do.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, thanks for everybody for listening this year. We appreciate it. Along with your questions, let's also, if you have goals for your truck or business next year, we'd love to hear those and how you compare to your goals from last year. So, yep. Skippy will have a camera, so we'll get to see his face next week.
I'm going to go buy one today, I think.
Good call. Yeah, do that.
I will.
All right, everybody. Have a happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas, and we will talk to you next Monday at 9:00.
Peace.
Bye-bye. Stop. Don't leave.
I ain't leaving, even though I'm uploaded.
I'm not leaving. Hopefully I'm fully uploaded everywhere, both my sections.
Yeah, so he's from Alabama.
Who is?